Welcome back to the Born Blind spooky season. I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Randa. Woo! Welcome back to our spooky episode number 3 in our spooky season.
Number 1.
In our first spooky season ever, episode number 3. Perfect. Technically, we're episode 17? 18.
I don't remember.
What number is this? Whatever.
A little bit of housekeeping. This week I learned that my mother watches. I don't know what she does. She tunes in. So, I gotta watch my mouth. Anyway, fuck that.
I was gonna say that's different from when?
Today I brought, what?
I was gonna say on a side note, it's October Witches! Woo! We are finally in October, which means we are that much closer to Halloween, and that means I am that much excited and ready.
That much excited?
That much excited. I forget how to speak.
That's okay.
If you haven't met me already, or known me, I suck at talking.
It happens.
English is difficult.
Yes.
What were you gonna say?
I brought a stalker story.
Ooh. And because I suck at talking, Aubrey is going to read this story. And
So
neither one of us have read it.
correct. Ricky found this one and brought it to us.
You go, Glen Coco.
Woo! So shout out to him. So it's gonna be both of our reactions.
I know, I'm excited. It's supposed to be a good one. This is on Reddit, right?
Yes, this is a Reddit story. All the caption says is I shot my stalker tonight.
Hold on. Before we get into the story, didn't you have something you wanted to tell me on the pod?
Next one.
Next pod?
Next one.
Can I tell you my little side
Yes.
story quick? So Mitchell and I have been watching the Conjuring series.
That sounds
so like
terrible.
The Nun, Annabelle, Conjuring,
Nope.
like whatever. And we had a date night on Saturday.
Your PJs were adorable.
I know, we had matching PJs, we made cookies, like the whole 9. Well, we paused the movie, and then we got up to like either start making the cookies or like get them out of the oven, whatever. I went to the fridge to grab some more wine, and I closed it, and Mitchell and I heard like a humming sound. And I shit you not, we looked at each other so fucking fast, we're like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, do not go investigate or we will die. I was like, we're fine.
Where was it coming from?
I have no idea. I lied. I think it might have been the fridge, because sometimes like the fridge likes to hum, and I don't know why, but I had just opened the fridge, got wine, and then closed the fridge, and then heard the sound. So I'm assuming it's the fridge.
You're hoping it's the fridge.
Yes. But then another thing, a couple days later, I want to say this was now Monday or Tuesday, I went to go feed the dog outside, and I had closed the slider, and Elliot was in the house. And like I said, we had just got done. We watched like 2 or 3 of the Conjuring movies, or like the series. And I went to go walk back into the house, and the slider door just starts opening. And I was like, I looked around, I was like, do I go inside? Like, my son's in there. And then I peeked my head around the slider, and Elliot's on the side, and he like pulled it open, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
You're just like,
Dude, and then I fell out the door. I told you that. But that was actually kind of funny, because when I stepped down, we're in the process of renovating my house, and my husband likes to finish or start one thing and then move on to the next.
Start the next thing?
So he had...
And then start the next thing.
He had put in a new door, and this door is significantly higher because we raised the platform, because when you used to walk in the house, you'd have to go up this way like a step, so now it's all one level. Well, because it's all one level, it's a huge fucking step outside of my house. And I went to go step down, and my left leg went whoop, and I just fell on my ass, and I sat there for a minute. It was just me and Elliot, because Ella was taking her sweet time. That's when you need
cameras.
That's what Mitchell said. He's like, did you like sprawl out? I was like, no, I literally like twisted my ankle. My whole left leg like fell down like underneath me, and I was just sitting there like this.
Your whole body fell down.
I mean, that too. And I sat there, and Elliot like walks over to me. He like stares at me. He goes, Mom? I was like, I'm good, buddy. Just give me a minute. And then as I'm getting up, Ella walks out the door. She goes, what are you doing? I was like, I just busted my ass,
Just
okay?
hanging out.
I was
What are you doing?
And then she's like, what are you doing? I was like, I just fell. And she's like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Like, my ego's a little bruised, but I'm okay. My leg to this day is still very sore. But that was my little, I wanted to tell around the pod. So
I got one for you next week. Be
stay
sure to
tuned.
come back.
Stay tuned. All right, now on to the Stalker. Stalker?
Stalker.
Oh, remember last week or the week before when I was like folk and culk? Now I feel like I have to do that with Stalker. Stalker. All right. Let's start.
So this comes from a user called Lucy Aria Rose, but she does say that she is not the original poster, and the original was from It's Mrs. Steal Your Cat.
Mr. Steel Girl.
She posted in ourself.
What?
I don't know. I'm not a Reddit user. I would assume it's one of the pages. But anyway, she posted it 10 years ago and has since deleted her account.
Interesting.
So basically gives a big thank you to people for essentially recovering the story. There are trigger warnings. So take care of yourselves. Trigger warnings include stalking, threats of rape, threats of murder, shooting in self-defense, and racism.
Wow.
So the original post came from September 24th. So in our time, yesterday.
What year? Does it say what
2014.
year? Ooh.
So 10 years ago, like exact.
That's kind of... I mean, we like planned this.
But we didn't plan.
But
I
we
didn't know the date.
I didn't know the date either. That's insane.
So the title was Anyone Had Success with Private Investigators. The story goes, for the past What?
Hopefully you guys can't hear my son. He's supposed to be going down for a nap, but he's struggling. Ignore that.
We'll see.
Watch him not even be able to hear it.
If you can hear him, he's okay.
He is 100% fine. He's a 2-year-old fighting a nap. If you know, you know.
Facts.
Okay.
So the story goes, for the past 6 months, I've been relentlessly stalked and had threats against my life made from someone I dated for a month.
Ooh.
A month.
A month?
A month.
Creeper.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one. It started with phone calls upwards of 45 to 50 times a day. 50-page text messages and him showing up outside of my house at 5 a.m. When I wouldn't comply or feed the negative attention, I began to receive threats. Claims that he would murder me and get away with it. All he would have to do is flee the country.
Yeah, because that'll help.
Yeah, right.
They will find you.
Telling me he shouldn't have to force me to be his friend or give him another chance or else. Every time I blocked his number from contacting me, he would then call me from a different one. Try and pretend to be other people or have his friends or sometimes even random strangers he'd ask on the street. I once scared an unsuspecting guy half to death after informing him that the person who had just told him to call me was actually stalking me, and I sent him proof. He ended up calling the police on him, and he fled, of course. After about 2 months of that, I was evicted from my apartment building due to my neighbors no longer feeling safe because of his looming presence. I then applied for and was granted a TPO, which I'm not sure what a TPO is, but I assume it's similar to a PPO. I don't know if this was a typo or not, but essentially a personal protection order.
Right.
A few days afterwards, I received a picture message of a note the sheriff civil had left on the door of my stalker's then residence with a message taunting me that what you are trying to do was stupid and a restraining order is just a piece of paper. So ultimately, he just ended up avoiding the process server and simple as that, I was not being protected at all.
I Googled what a TPO is.
Okay.
A court order that prohibits a spouse from taking certain actions during the marriage dissolution process, such as moving the children, cleaning out bank and retirement accounts, canceling insurance policies.
So my thought is it's a PPO rather than a TPO.
It has to be because they were only together for a month.
Correct.
Interesting. Sorry, I needed to know. It was
You're fine.
Eat me alive. If
You're
I
fine. Did you catch the part? So essentially, he took a picture of the note from the sheriff, and basically said it's just a piece of paper.
Which I feel like that's. Yeah.
May 31st of this year, I relocated. This did not deter my stalker. He vowed to find where I moved to and threatened that if he couldn't find me, he would be able to find my family, and then proceeded to send me a map of my mother's home, who he had never met. I'm sorry, what?
I beg your finest fucking pardon. Right off the jump, homeboy is determined.
Red flag
He
after
is
red flag.
very persistent.
The only green flag, yes, he's persistent.
I mean, and consistent, it seems like. He's very...
After a month,
Did it
though?
say in here, how they met? Or was it just, they were together? Or
Yeah, just that
seeing each other for a month?
They dated for a month. That was it.
That's fucking crazy. We were just talking about, prior to recording, how dating life is like, mainly because of some people we know. But we were like, could you imagine dating now? But it's even worse trying to date when you're 50s.
I'm good.
There's just, people are
I say
fucked.
I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good. I didn't mean that as I'm ditching Ricky. I meant that as in trying to find somebody nowadays.
Oh my God, could you imagine? If anything were to happen to Mitchell and I, if we were to divorce, or if he were to pass away, or if, God forbid, something happens to me, we literally both said to each other that we would get a dog. We're not going to try dating again because fuck that.
Let's be serious. If Mitch left, it'd be, hey, can I move in?
Can me and my children move in with you guys? I don't want to be alone,
You
but I
have
also
room,
don't want to
right?
date anybody. Facts. That's funny.
Oh, that would be a handful.
That would be a lot.
That would be a handful.
Not gonna lie, I love you so much, but I
No,
think
thank you.
living with you would.
We'll put you in the barn out back.
That's fine.
You and the
As
kids.
long as it's heated and air conditioning.
We can make that happen.
Perfect. Let's do it.
It continues on to say, I received a message from a woman claiming to be a former
I cursed her.
I received a message from a woman claiming to be my former landlord, letting me know that I owed a balance and on my account, and to avoid late fees, I needed to pay the amount, which I could do with the link provided in the message. Turns out it was my stalker pretending to be a woman, and the link turned out to be a tool used to grab the user's IP address when I clicked the link.
Find her location.
Upon this discovery, I changed my phone number and began to systematically dismantle any trace of an online presence I once had. This action only seemed to anger him, and before deleting the profiles outright, I would attempt to block him from contacting me. Each and every time I blocked one, he simply created a new one and proceeded to contact me as if nothing had happened. 12 different Reddit accounts, 9 different Tumblrs, 10 different Instagrams, 3 Meetup accounts, 4 Facebooks, with which he changed his location to that of my hometown and proceeded to add nearly everyone from my graduating class in high school, and even 3 Duolingo accounts and MySpace. Yes, MySpace.
I miss MySpace.
I do and I don't.
I think it was
fun.
way cooler than Facebook. The fact that you could change your profile's layout, and you could have different themes, and
Do you remember the whole ranking system though? My top friends, and then
it would start so much
I was
fight.
just gonna say
Yeah.
everyone would get so pissed off. Well, why aren't?
It's I have no fucking control. Isn't it who you talk to the most? How did it work?
You could put people where you wanted to.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You ranked them.
Oh. I don't remember if I ever did that. I was really just in it for like the cool fucking like Halloween layouts during like Halloween time, and like my mom was like super into it. Like
I
she
bet.
would go all out, and she would like get like, because you could get those little like sparkly fucking photos, what are the, like the GIFs or the GIFs or whatever the fuck they're called.
Before they were
Right.
GIFs. Yes.
Yeah, my mom would go nuts over that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name.
And like AOL.
Mm-hmm. I miss AOL.
We were just, Ella's been watching Dude Perfect, and on one of the episodes it had like the AOL, like, you've got mail. I was like, I miss that sound. I was like, I haven't heard that in years.
Next time she asks to go on the computer, you should play her the whole internet startup.
Oh my God.
Be like, no, you gotta wait. You can't use the computer yet. Hold on.
Yep, you gotta wait. And you can't make any phone calls.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Get off the internet. I have to use the phone.
Could you? It's so weird that we are the last generation of that time. Mm-hmm. Because it went from that to like internet and cell phones, and like we were in that transitioning period.
And I still don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Facts.
Me and technology are still not friends.
Yeah. That's why our tech guy sucks.
I then received an empty package from him addressed to my former residence with the declaration, address correction requested, do not forward. I'm assuming he thought that the post office would adhere to his request and return the package to him with my new connected address on it.
My son looks like a frog.
But
Okay.
mid-July, he created a profile using my photos and likeness to threaten my family. When I didn't respond, he proceeded to post semi-nude pictures of me on the profile in attempt to blackmail me into speaking with him. I did not and contacted Twitter to report the account and have it removed, which they eventually did. This would be August? Yes, August 21st of 2014, I woke up around 8 p.m. to vigorous knocking and ringing of my doorbell.
Oh my God, I'd shit my pants.
This is my type of person.
Oh God.
She said she awoke at 8 p.m., which means she was in bed sleeping before 8 p.m. That is my kind of person.
I love that. I would love to say that's me, but sometimes it's just not.
Fair.
I like the me time when my children are sleeping.
Fair. Mm-hmm. I look out my window to see who it is, and I was horrified to see my stalker there. I called the police, and of course he fled once again. Over 7 separate police reports filed at this time.
Jesus.
This incident was followed by threatening emails from my stalker demanding that I meet him somewhere, or because he had found me, that the next time I would wake up to gunshots. And that if he didn't, I would first... Hold on. And that if I didn't, he would first taser me and rape... Hold on. This is direct quote. Taser you and rape you in the ass using your boyfriend's blood as lube.
What in the actual fuck is happening?
A psycho.
Dude, this is really bad. My first thought was, blood's not very lubricating.
It's not.
That shit dries quick.
It does.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. That was not funny.
Okay, so this past Sunday night, I woke up at 6:45 a.m. That's not night, that's morning. Anyway, at 6:45 a.m. to the ringing and banging again. I proceeded to record him on video while I was on the phone with the police. He fled on foot once again, and I was hit with the same hoopla from law enforcement. Well, we can't really do much because technically at this point he's not doing anything wrong. Then why does he flee? I obtained a TPO again, but I have no solid address for this dangerous person, which is why I am in dire need of a private investigator to assist with finding said residence so this person can be served. I hope you might be able to refer me to someone who might be able to assist me. I've developed insomnia, depression, anxiety, and paranoia. Understandably so.
1000%.
Understandably
I would be
so.
paranoid to do anything.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
would
would
be
feel
scared to leave my house.
Yeah, like constantly.
But at the
being
same
watched.
time, like, you don't feel safe in your house either.
I'd be scared he did something to my vehicle.
I'd
like
be
cut
locking
my brakes or
myself
something.
in my basement.
Dude,
Like,
that's fucked. Because not only is that like that is all mental games. Like that will literally fuck with you. And of course, because your mind is a scary place, like it's gonna play tricks on you anyway, and you're gonna
just
think
gonna eat you alive.
100%.
You're gonna spiral,
and you're gonna think something's there when no one is, or your toddler's opening the fucking slider door. Like, you're just gonna think everything that happens now is them or something paranormal.
I am completely isolated. I am 22 years old and have no social life anymore.
She's young.
I have 0 friends. I've become a shell of my former self. I've faced eviction and lost a job because of this man's behavior, and I don't know how much longer I can survive. There's actually so much more filler shit that he has done to terrorize me, but for the sake of this already lengthy post, I tried to condense it. I have proof in the form of recordings, event diaries, and copies of all his threats, interactions, and attempts to communicate, and would be more than willing to email them to show I am not lying. I am in LV, if that helps at all. Las Vegas, my guess.
That would be my assumption, because there's no state with LV.
TLDR. Do we know what that means?
TLDR.
TLDR. We are not Reddit users.
I don't know what that means. I mean, I can Google it if you want. You can continue and I'll
Anyway,
figure it out.
Says people overuse the word stalking so much that these days that no one takes it seriously anymore. As soon as someone doesn't like someone anymore, they call them a stalker.
TLDR is abbreviation for too long, didn't read.
Got it.
Simple enough.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
This isn't staring at your ex's new lover's timeline longer than you healthily should. This is a real scared to sleep at night deal. I have felt the fear before and it's eating away at me. I need help badly. And then edit it again. It says, whoever has guided me Whoever has gilded me gold, wow. Thank you so much. As pathetic as it may seem, Redditors, and anyway, I think it's just a side comment. So there's a couple relevant comments that were added to this as well. There was a commenter that asked, can you post the video? The original poster said, yes, but I'm on the phone with the police during the video, and I'm not 100% sure how to blurt out certain information, like my address and my phone number from the audio in the video.
Because why would you want to put that on the internet?
Correct. Commenter said, damn, I remember talking to an old friend of mine from Vegas who was saying she'll get a CCW soon, which I think that's another type of, like, protection order.
I'll Google it.
Okay. I kind of think I should forward this to her soon. Just doesn't seem soon enough. The original poster said, do it.
We are so stupid. Concealed.
Oh, carry weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carrying a concealed weapon.
I didn't know that because here it's a CPL, which is a concealed pistol license.
That's true. That's true. If it was, yeah, we would have been
So,
like, oh yeah, we know that.
The original poster said, do it, my gun saved my life. Updated post, deleted, and then recovered from September 26th of 2014, which was 2 days later.
Okay.
From the original post. And then I think that's when she commented back.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Okay. So there's another Reddit post from October 8th of 2014, which was 2 weeks from or 2 weeks after the original post.
Right, the September 24th.
Correct. And it says it's an image. The image description is a photo of the slightly open door. The chair is in front, pushed to the side. There's black paint, possibly covering the side of the door that has been busted in. Arrows, most likely from crime scene units, stuck to the door, pointing to individual spots.
I'm going to assume the black paint is not black paint.
That would be my guess. I don't know.
It's probably a black and white photo, so it looks
Probably.
black, yeah.
So the post says, I'm writing this, staring at the mess the police left for me in a bit of a fog. After 6 months of stalking and threats against my life, my stalker finally snapped and decided to kick my door in and made good on his promise. Out of fear, the past month I had begun sleeping in a chair propped up against my front door to give myself a few extra precious seconds in case of an emergency. I shudder to think how differently things might have turned out had I not barricaded the door. I awoke at 1:15 a.m. to the sound of the door giving way after one kick, followed by the sounds of my stalker struggling to dislodge the chair while forcing his way inside.
Damn.
I jumped up and grabbed the gun I've learned... Hold on. The gun I've learned to do everything even... I jump up and grab the gun I've learned to do everything with, even shower. Got it. I don't know why that
Was so difficult.
was so difficult.
Was as difficult as it made it be.
I stood at... Yep. I stood at the top of my stairs and fired twice, hitting him in the chest. Ooh. I heard his scream, his disbelief that I'd stood up for myself. 0 to 100 in milliseconds. I've never been so afraid in my life. I do not know if he's living, but I do know the police have him, and that's what helps the most. For months of him evading the police, I began to question whether he was unstoppable, untraceable, Houdini. He would murder me and get away with it. As of now, I'm in a haze of guilt, surprise, relief, and disbelief. I shook as... Canines, yes. Good gravy. I shook as the canines dragged him out from his hiding place under a bush. I survived where so many people do not. Holy shit, I survived.
Wow.
Good on you for standing up, honestly.
Literally. That's amazing.
Just being a female, we already deal with struggles of being the quote-unquote weaker gender, so...
Yeah. You go, Glen Coco.
You go, Glen Coco.
You go.
And I do believe that she had every right, especially if she was in Michigan. We have the, I can't remember the name of the actual law, but essentially we have the right to defend our property. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if it's the same in Las Vegas is in Nevada?
Nevada, yeah.
Nevada. Or not, but regardless,
yeah.
I feel like she had every right. There you go.
That's crazy.
So there was an edit to this post, and it says, the outpouring of the support is wild. I can't thank you guys enough. Everyone can be a critic, and the fact still remains. You don't know what you will do in the situation until it's presented in front of you. I 100% agree.
Amen.
Those who believe there are other things to be done have never had someone tell you that you no longer deserve to draw a breath and mean it. And for the should have fired a warning shot, folks, there are no warning shots. A gun is a deadly force. You only pull the trigger if you are in fear of your life, and all other methods of deterring are gone. She had tried deterring multiple times.
Oh, yeah. The months prior to this.
Absolutely. When he kicked in my door, there was no longer a deterrent preventing harm. Warning shots are dangerous and could hurt the unintended. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. This is not a Wild West movie. This was absolutely. This was a
that
this. That's what responsible gun ownership is.
Right.
Good gravy. I can't talk today. I'll update once again. Oh, I'll update once things have calmed down a bit, I promise. I'll write back to everyone after being isolated for so long. Anyone who wants to be friends, I'm always accepting those.
Oh.
Just be careful. We don't need another.
Literally, we don't need another one.
So there's a link to a news article from October 2nd of 2014. Las Vegas, Nevada. A woman shot her stalker after he kicked in her back door. She had been living in fear, showering with a gun and propping a chair up against her door for just this short of a situation. Just this sort of a situation.
That wasn't fucking short at all.
Her post to Reddit made the story go viral. She writes, I'm writing this staring at a... Okay, so what we just read. Police say former boyfriend Douglas Eugene Jackson, 22, kicked in her door at around 1 a.m. last Friday.
Oh, that's homeboy?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to search it. What's his name? Douglas?
Yep.
Douglas what?
Eugene Jackson.
Okay, continue reading.
Again, it goes on to say, or quote, I awoke at 1:15 to the sounds of the door giving way. That whole story. And then, yeah, he looks like a fucking creepy stalker.
Photo here.
Or we should say. Anyway.
Oh, I want to do a little snippet. For those of you who are only listening, if you want to see the photo on the screen that we had just put up, besides
YouTube.
from Googling it, head over to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to
subscribe while you're there.
Thank you. That was a little plug at our own YouTube.
So KVVU TV reports that Jackson left the scene and tried to hide in some bushes. Police dogs quickly found the stalker. He was treated for his injuries at the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada. Jackson now faces charges of home invasion and aggravated stalking. For months of him evading the police, I began to question whether he was unstoppable. It goes on to essentially give the rest of her story. The victim, the rest of her post. The victim does not wish to be identified.
Neither would I.
Yup. Has saved many threatening texts and social media posts from her stalker. She says he forced her to move, obtained a restraining order, and acquired a license to carry a concealed weapon. The victim followed up with a note, which was what I just read, about the outpouring of support.
Mm-hmm.
So Daily Mail has an article on the case along with text evidence submitted by the original poster, and there's a link right there. Not that we can get to it. It's paper. So update on the case in 2020.
Ooh.
Which is an article, and this was 6 years after the original incident. Well, it's not an accident. It was an incident.
Yeah.
There's an editor's note. This is 6 years after the original event, but in this is the same man. He did this to a different woman in 2019 while on parole.
Oh, homeboy, you fucked up.
They refer to the original poster as the former girlfriend in Las Vegas, even though she only went on 2 dates with him.
Oh my God. Homeboy is obsessed.
So, the story that we originally got, she had known him for a month, but only went on 2 dates with him. 2 fucking dates.
Dude, I'm at a loss for words because this is fucking insane. Can you say obsessed much?
Can you say mentally ill? And then some?
And then some? All the things.
So, Reno, Nevada. A Nevada man, which this is the news article now. A Nevada man has been sentenced to 15 years in prison after pleading guilty to stalking a female acquaintance while on parole for a similar crime that happened in Las Vegas. The Washoe County District Attorney's Office in Reno announced the sentence of 28-year-old Douglas Eugene Jackson on Friday. Jackson was arrested in Florence, Arizona in January and pleaded guilty to the aggravated stalking charge in July. According to the prosecutors, an investigation by the Sparks Police Department determined Jackson had sent numerous threatening text messages to a woman over several months in 2019. The texts include threats against the woman's dog and property. He also called the woman's
dog.
Probably, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to kill your dog.
That's fucked up. Mm-hmm. What did that dog do to you, bro?
Right? He also called the woman's family and friends in an effort to get information about her. At the time of the threats, Jackson was on parole for stalking a former girlfriend in Las Vegas. That woman ended up shooting him in her home.
So hold on. 6 years later, he got out of jail.
On parole.
On parole.
Which means he did not serve his full sentence.
Correct. Meets a new person.
And does the exact same thing.
Goes on 2 dates with her.
No. The 2 dates was from the original girl.
Are you sure?
Yes. Because it says they refer to the original poster as the former girlfriend in Las Vegas, even though she only went on 2 dates with him.
Gotcha. Okay. So then, did it say how long they were together in this one?
Nope.
Or he's just now stalking her?
He's just now stalking her.
Bro. My question is, why the fuck would you let him out just for him to do this again? Like, clearly...
Our justice system sucks.
You're not lying.
Because instead of getting him mental help, they just locked him up and said, that'll do it.
And it obviously did not do it. This isn't Nike.
Editors note this was the original poster in 2014, so the girl that shot him. He served about 5 years in prison after the original poster shot him. Back to the news article. According to the district attorney's office, prosecutor Travis Lucia saw a maximum sentence because of the terrifying nature of Jackson's conduct, which came after only a month on parole for the previous crime. So he was literally on parole for a month before he got in trouble for stalking another person. A month.
Dude, I can't. I literally can't. He learned nothing.
So Jackson was living in Washoe County at the time of the threats, but had no steady address.
Surprise.
So, fun little addition. In 2023, a woman on TikTok claimed to be the original poster from 2014, and there was an article written about that, which is what I'm about to read you, on September 20th of 2023. Almost 9 years to the day after the original incident. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to say it's
Deja?
That's
what I would assume.
I apologize if that's wrong. Deja Washington was 22 years old when she agreed to go on a date with a man. After the second date, she decided she wasn't really feeling it and told him.
I mean, creep vibes, 100%. She probably felt.
Absolutely.
Like, not
always
good.
Listen to your gut.
Yes.
It's the women intuition.
Red flags will always be a red flag. They will never turn green.
Correct. In a post to TikTok, she has since revealed how just 3 weeks of knowing the man turned into her being stalked for a whopping 7 months.
She dealt with that for 7 months?
That's almost a year.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little over half a year. It's still...
it's 1 month over half a year.
When it's happening, though, I guarantee it felt like ages.
Oh, yeah. It felt like a fucking eternity.
In a video uploaded to her TikTok account, Washington says that she had... Sorry, there's a voice
Coming right at my face. Okay. Sorry.
She said that she had a lot of other stuff going on at the time and explained this to her date, who said it was okay. Washington walked away from the connection thinking everything was fine, but a month and a half later, and the date had very much changed his tune. Washington's date later decided that everything was not fine and began messaging her hundreds of times a day. He argued he was a good man and deserved a chance.
But your actions are showing otherwise, homie.
Also, you don't get to decide what somebody else wants to do with their life, so...
Preach, sister, preach.
I don't want to say I speak from experience, but at the same time, I speak from a little bit of experience.
Yep.
You don't get to say what I do with my life. Anyway.
Preach.
At first, I blew it off and was kind of annoyed. I was like, who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
But then it started to get really scary really quickly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my
He started sending me pictures of the outside of my house, telling me that he was planning a raid.
Wait, what?
Planning a raid?
A raid?
Like he was going to raid the house? Enter without permission?
I get that, but that's such a weird, like...
He was going to spray it with bug spray.
Trying to help you out with the buggies. We always seem to laugh when it's not funny.
It is not funny.
This story is not funny at all.
We make it funny.
It's just us. We make light out of the situation.
Laugh through the pain.
For real. For real.
Washington received messages and calls from the man for over a month and started filing police reports, the man taking pictures of her doing so and of her talking to the police. Do you know how creepy that is? Be like, oh, I see you're talking to the police. I guarantee it's about me. Self-centered much? It's not about you.
True. Also, that laugh was fucked up. Just saying. I was like...
I thought you were talking about mine.
I was like... You in my face. I bet it looked real funny on camera because I was like...
Rewind? Should we play it again?
Look at Randa being fucking stupid. I'm not just a pretty face, guys.
What? Anyway, Washington explains he would even talk to strangers and her neighbors, so she couldn't trust anybody.
That... Big nope.
She
Hard
eventually
pass.
had to move out of her apartment because a restraining order was truly just a piece of paper. Left unable to sleep because he would threaten he was outside and planning to break in. Washington claims that she went to the police 5 to 10 times and filed like 10 police reports, but says she was told there wasn't anything they could do as he hadn't hurt her. Can we get that changed, please?
Immediately. Immediately that needs to be changed.
If you are threatening me, that is enough credit to have something done.
It should be.
Absolutely.
Because then what happens when they actually do kill you? Like, oh, sorry. We didn't have
look
any
at
evidence.
these 10 police reports that we had.
Fucking hate this system.
And didn't do anything. She eventually moved her house and her stalker posed... Oh, hold on. But her stalker posed as her former landlord, used packages and social media to try and track her down. The man threatened to kill her and said he knew he was going to get away with it because he was a white man and she was a black woman. Which is bullshit. Washington was...
That's fucked up.
Beyond fucked up.
That's definitely where the race comes in.
Doesn't matter.
No, I mean like the racism at the
I
beginning
know.
of the trigger. But
yes. Yeah. Now I'm on the same
Sorry,
page.
I should have said racism, not just
Got it.
race.
That's where the race comes in.
You're like, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying that's where the racism comes in.
Racism
prior
trigger.
to the trigger warning.
Got it.
We're getting there.
Somewhere. Washington was later assigned a detective to her case, but the first time she met him, She said he revealed he'd met her stalker, who seemed like a nice guy.
I mean, everyone thought Ted Bundy was a nice guy. Look at where he's ended up.
That part. And suggested it could be a misunderstanding. No, the only person misunderstanding is you. I knew in that...
I love that we're always on the same fucking brainwave. It's my favorite.
That's where you need to hire women detective to protect women. Or men who can put their fucking masculinity to the side to protect women. Anyway, I knew in that moment this man was going to kill me and he was going to get away with it.
That's terrifying.
Washington... No. Hell no.
That's terrifying.
Washington Stalker changed phone numbers and even used Duolingo to try and contact her. And it was when Washington's registered to vote, he finally found her address. She resolved to buy a firearm despite being a very anti-guns after her parents were shot when she was younger. The man kept demanding they meet, threatening if Washington didn't, he would greet her and use her blood as lube. Great. Anyway, frequently turned up at her door dodging police, but suddenly...
Grate her?
Grate
like
her.
A cheese grater?
I have no idea.
What the fuck?
But suddenly he went completely silent. In September, he came for her, kicking in her door. Washington said, I remember just grabbing the firearm off the table and I wasn't angry. I wasn't upset. I just made a decision that it was either him or it was me, and I chose me. And I shot him. The police later found Washington's stalker, his injuries leaving him unable to run, and he was sentenced to jail. Washington went on to work at a gun range and took part in Refuse to Be a Victim courses to help offer women to help other women feel empowered to protect themselves.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Amen.
That gave me goosebumps, like all over.
She now works at a big tech company and never takes any moment of her life for granted. Washington stalker Douglas Eugene Jackson was sentenced to 15 years in prison in 2020.
Good. That's where he needs to be. Never let that motherfucker out.
Or get him help and, actually help him, not lock him away for the rest of his life and hope that when he gets out this time, it'll be better.
Because clearly it's not.
Amen. That was a whirlwind.
That was a story.
After getting to the end of this story, though, I didn't put two and two together, but I remember watching some of her TikToks.
You do?
Like, I remember this story. As soon as she said, I remember just grabbing my firearm off the table and I wasn't angry. I wasn't upset. I just made the decision. It was either him or me. Or it was either him or it's me, and I chose me and I shot him. As soon as I read that, I can visualize.
Like a light bulb moment came off.
I can visualize watching the TikTok. I remember watching the entire TikTok.
Dude.
Like, I remember watching it.
So, I hate to say this, but I'm glad that this... I don't want to say glad. It's a bad choice of words. But she had to go through this in order to come out on the other side and be super aware of what's going on and being able to protect herself, which I think all women should do.
Absolutely.
I think that this is a very good thing for especially young women to
learn to protect yourself.
100, and that doesn't have to be a gun. You can do martial arts. You can learn how to do ninja stuff. I don't know.
At the same time, I don't believe that we should live in a world where we have to learn to protect ourselves.
100%.
We shouldn't have to live in a world where we're in constant fear of everybody around us just because we are female. But unfortunately, that's is the world we live in today. So, ladies, protect yourselves.
Please protect yourself. I'm not saying you have to go buy a gun. I'm not saying any of those things, but there's other ways of learning to protect yourself, and 100%.
And that was a very tense episode. So make sure that you practice some self-care after this as well. Whatever that
Absolutely.
may be for you, make sure you do that. You deserve it.
Absolutely.
With that, we will see you next week. Come see us on socials.
Come see us on socials. Subscribe to
We
our
will be there.
YouTube.
Yes.
Again, I will keep saying it. We see you watching us. Subscribe.
Quit stalking us and actually interact with us.
We love you guys so much, though. Thank you for all of your support. We hope you have a fabulous week, and we will see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.